We're going to talk about hospitals playing Russian roulette with that PCR test.
We had a nurse on this bus telling us that a patient would come in and they would be told from above, whoever that above person is, to keep testing until they got a positive.
Yeah, they did that. It was like they were playing roulette. And the doctors would even put in the documentation, I don't understand this. It's like the patient doesn't have anything I can treat. I keep doing the PCR test. It keeps coming up positive, and they have nothing wrong, and that would happen. They would do like 6, 7, 8 tests, and it would be positive, but the patient would have nothing wrong with them, and the doctor would be really confused. Sometimes they would do 4 or 5 tests, and they would get a bunch of negatives, and then they would get one positive, and they would take the positive and then treat the patient for COVID. So it was like playing roulette. They would just, even the different doctors were documenting, I'm not sure I trust this test. So let's just run it again and see what I get this time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I even remember back in 2022, 2023, CDC itself came out and said the PCR test is no good. And then you just see them continue using it. I mean, they said it themselves.
Yeah.
But let's test until we get our positive. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I don't even want to imagine. But you're just little old Joe Blow or little old Jane, and you've gone into the hospital for something else, and you feel absolutely fine. And they give you a COVID-19 test, and they do it until they get their positive, and then immediately you're given the protocol, and you end up on remdesivir, which causes kidney failure, and then Event, which floods your lungs, and you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I know people that went through that and died.
It's horrible. It's unconscionable, and they get away with it.
That's when we start talking about evil, being a reality in the world, being a fight, a war, a spiritual war of good versus evil, as easily described. It's like this dark and lightness and light. This is evil. It's the disregard for the gift of life. That's the opposite of God or anything divine. It's evil. Mm-hmm. It exists.